Hey there, this is Teacher Ola Podcast, episode 125, 5 reasons why New Year's resolutions don't work. My name's Ola and I'm an English teacher. My goal is to help you start speaking English with confidence and get rid of speaking barriers. I believe it's achievable for you and it's time you started speaking English fearlessly. Go to my website for full transcripts and worksheets to each episode. Happy learning! Welcome back to my podcast. Let's deal with the reasons why you can't make your New Year's resolution stick. Let's change it. Let's get those goals met. One thing, New Year's resolutions can be set anytime throughout the year. I don't see why not. It's just a date. Of course, it's a new beginning, it's a fresh start, it's symbolic and stuff, but honestly, every day is a fresh start. Don't wait until the end of December to reflect back on your past and set new plans. Today, we're looking at 5 reasons why your plans don't get fulfilled and how to avoid that. Before we jump in, if you feel like you want to support my work, please tell somebody about the Teacher Ola podcast and share this episode somewhere on your social media platforms if possible. Become a member of Top People, receive worksheets right into your inbox. Go to teacherola.com/newsletter. Go to my shop and buy my product. That also supports Teacher Ola podcast. I have prepared worksheet sets which come with a great tool I created and it's called Speaking English Planner. It's gonna help you plan and monitor your daily habit of speaking English out loud. Visit teacherola.com. Thank you. Now let's take a closer look at 5 reasons why New Year's resolutions don't stick. Number 1, vagueness. Okay, so here we go. Pretty basic mistake, but let's start with something easy. Something you can get rid of in seconds. Listen, if you plan to, read more, make it more precise. I plan to read 20 books this year. See? That's energy. You get more of that if you add more precision into your ideas and plans. Where energy goes, energy flows. So reading more is way too vague. In other words, not precise enough. So go back to your goal and make sure it's precise. Well, it doesn't have to be necessarily measurable, but let's create something that's monitorable. I don't think that word exists. Don't learn from me. Still, you know what I mean. It's all about easy, everyday, tiny actions you are going to be doing each day for the next year. It must be something you can tick. You can monitor. I want a better life. How vague and utterly not doable is that? What does it mean? Do you even know what you want? Sit down, take a piece of paper and make a freaking list of your dreams, no matter how big. Just list them. Is it maybe, just maybe, speaking English fluently? Not bad. But now sit and think, what does it mean exactly? What practical skills do you need to work on in order to achieve that quite vague goal? Listen, don't think that much about goals. I've been telling this for a while. Goals are not of the paramount importance. What is rather your belief in you. Make a promise and keep it. It's a promise you give to yourself. Isn't that worth keeping? Don't focus on the goal. Focus on your everyday work, on keeping the promise. Write it somewhere, on the front page of your brand new calendar. If the word you give to yourself means anything to you, for the love of God, keep it. Number 2, overconfidence. Okay, so on the New Year's Eve, we are all a bit overexcited, overstimulated and overreacting. We're wearing rose gold glasses. I will lose so much weight. I will travel the world. I'll get the best job ever. I'll get my shit together. I'll settle down. I'll get more serious. I'll focus on my family. I'll read tons of books. I'll quit smoking and drinking. I'll be a better friend. I'll do it all. And I'll go to the gym 7 times a week. Anyone can do it, right? Right? No, not right. Quite wrong. Okay, so what makes you think that you can go to the gym 7 times a week? What on earth? In order to avoid that, please put your but, on a chair or on a sofa or whatever, and just think realistically, clearly. What do you really want to change? What needs improvement? What needs to be eliminated? What should be done less frequently? Be honest, make plans. Take a clean sheet of paper and work with your dreams. And for God's sake, don't make promises you can't keep. The words you're telling yourself are the most important ones. Don't lie to yourself. If you make a spontaneous New Year resolution at 11 p.m. on New Year's Eve, don't expect much. Reason number 3, lack of planning. This is connected with the first point, vagueness, but it's different. It differs because in the first point we discussed how you need to set your resolutions, how to vocalize them. Now we're ought to set up a plan. It's a big project. It's gonna last 1 whole year. How to achieve that fluency if that's your promise? Well, speak to yourself out loud every day. Decide that in March you will talk to someone in English. You will step out of that comfort zone. Promise yourself that by June you will have watched 1 season of a TV series in English and you will have talked about each episode to your partner or your friend or your teacher. There are so many things you can do to improve your speaking skills. Guess what? I have a whole podcast about it. Check out episodes about learning English with music, about shadowing, about talking to yourself. These are episodes 3, 25, and 9. Tune in to episode 76 and 80 because they deal with planning your work, your daily 10-minute work with this podcast. But it doesn't matter. Your goal may be far away from languages. It always applies. Be creative. Make a list of actionable steps, milestones, things you're gonna do in each quarter. Set up a plan. Number 4, lack of readiness. It's a big one. A bit philosophical, but this is a core reason why your New Year's resolutions will not work. I'm deadly serious. Lack of readiness. Firstly, what for? What is this resolution for? What exactly is in it for you? What do you want to achieve? You want to speak English fluently, but what for? For a new job? For your kids who live abroad? For travel? What for? Ask yourself these questions because if you have a clear, precise reason, you won't get wobbly on the way. In March, in September, you'll be clear on what you're doing. Secondly, are you really ready for the change? Have you factored in that there will be lots of bad days? You'll get distracted, you'll lose motivation, and you'll lose it fast. Do you understand that you'll get bored with that goal? Are you ready to soldier on through those days? Are you ready to beat your own laziness? Do you embrace the fact that there will be more bad days than good ones? The solution is being ready, being aware of the fact that the way to a real change is hard. Another word you should embrace is discipline. Don't let go, be consistent. You know that consistency is the key word for me. On my example, because I did the work earlier, I consciously decided to run this podcast. So no matter how I feel, how demotivated I am, how bored, how tired, how busy, I record an episode every week. I don't always feel like recording, but that doesn't matter that much if you know what you want. I know I want to run this podcast, so I do. Come rain or shine. Is it easy? No, it's not. Do I do it? Yes, I do. Number 5, short memory. That one, easy. Take your calendar and write your resolutions now. Monitor your progress. When you're planning your actions for the year, your milestones, write them in the calendar. Go to March, write a goal. Go to June and do the same. Make sure you won't forget. You can set reminders on the phone, on your Google Calendar. You can ask your friend to help you out. Ask them to check up on your progress. This adds a bit of a pressure, but it's a good tool. You obviously don't need it, but it might help. You know yourself best, so pick whatever works for you. If you need an accountability partner, then have one. Here you have it. 5 reasons why our New Year's resolutions don't work. Let's have them listed again. Number 1, vagueness. Number 2, overconfidence. Number 3, lack of planning. Number 4, lack of readiness. Number 5, short memory. Now, practice. Listen to the sentences and repeat them out loud. And I hear you. Don't cheat. Say the sentences out loud. Number 1. Something you can get rid of in seconds. Something you can get rid of in seconds. Do you even know what you want? Do you even know what you want? If the word you give to yourself means anything to you, for the love of God, keep it. If the word you give to yourself means anything to you, for the love of God, keep it. What should be done less frequently? What should be done less frequently? Don't make promises you can't keep. Don't make promises you can't keep. The words you're telling yourself are the most important ones. The words you're telling yourself are the most important ones. Make a list of actionable steps, milestones, things you gotta do in each quarter. Make a list of actionable steps, milestones, things you gotta do in each quarter. Ask yourself these questions because if you have a clear, precise reason, you won't get wobbly on the way. Ask yourself these questions because if you have a clear, precise reason, you won't get wobbly on the way. Have you factored in that there will be lots of bad days? Have you factored in that there will be lots of bad days? Are you ready to soldier on through those days? Are you ready to soldier on through those days? So I do it, come rain or shine. So I do it, come rain or shine. Ask them to check up on your progress. Ask them to check up on your progress. Good job. Now, download the worksheet. I've sent it to you today and complete the worksheet with translations. If you're not a member of Top People, download the worksheet at teacherola.com/125 and become one. It's free. If you're willing to start from scratch and have everything in one place with the answer key, QR codes, PDF document with editable fields and speaking English planner, buy a worksheet set. It's available at teacherola.com. If you find this episode useful, tell your friends about this podcast and thank you so very, very much for doing so. I'd love to hear from you. Let me know, what are your New Year's resolutions? Do you even make ones? Last but not least, have a good year. I hope 2022 is gonna be your year. I wish you that. Win this year. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next Wednesday. We're going to learn some English with music. Be here next week. Happy learning, take care, stay fearless, and say it out loud. Bye!